What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Nerdwide podcast. This is a very special one, and we're going to have a lot of fun with this one, especially if you watch on YouTube. We are going to be going through a lot of these trailers that came out from San Diego Comic-Con today. We're going to talk about all the panels with DCEU, or the Warner Brothers, whichever one you want to call it, Marvel Animations panel, and the MCU Mega panel. That was only just an hour long, but feels like we got so much out of that, and we're going to break it all down for everybody. But if you want to watch these trailers along with us, I try to make sure the audio is right, so if you're a listener, I do apologize. Let me know in the comments or email us at nerdwide@gmail.com and let me know if the audio was wrong. But we're going to test it out, and we're going to see real quick. We tried to do it last night and this morning, so we should be good to go. But we're going to get this going. But first, welcome everybody back to the Nerdwide podcast. This is episode 79. This is going to be the San Diego 2022 Comic-Con breakdown, I guess is what we'll call it. I'm your host, Tyler Haynes, with my good friend and co-host, Chris Rivers. You excited?
What's going on, everybody? I'm really excited.
This is going to be fun. We worked on a lot of things last night and did some new things for the YouTube people. That's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm just excited to watch these trailers with Chris and get our interactions. I've watched all of these several times. Chris hasn't watched the DC stuff, but he has seen, and the I Am group, but he has seen everything else. So just to get excited, because we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to have some fun with it. So let's get right into everything with our housekeeping real quick. Don't forget to subscribe to either our YouTube or podcasting service of your choice. If you enjoy the show, make sure you leave a thumbs up on our YouTube or give us a good rating on whatever podcasting app you use. If you don't enjoy what you see or hear, make sure you leave us a comment. Let us know how we can improve this show. As always, if you go the extra mile, you can always go to patreon.com/nerdwide. 3 different tiers for 3 different monetary options there. If you want to help out us there, that's the way to do it. Without further ado, Chris, you want to jump into everything real quick?
Yeah, let's jump into everything.
And we are getting our main articles and everything. We're going to thedirect.com. This is the best place. I saw it, broke it all down, had it all with clickable links and everything. And this is by John McBrien. And John, we thank you for this because you did an excellent job. So we're going to start with DCEU. The DC Comic-Con panel delivered new on Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam, but sadly disappointed on rumors of Henry Cavill's Superman news. It was rumored he was going to be there, but it was not for Warner Brothers. I forgot it's for a different project he's been working on, but didn't even make an appearance. So, which is to each their own, I guess. And then,
I shared an article to you actually during the week. Of someone theorizing that Tyler Hoechlin might be bound for the DCEU.
I mean, I know I would be okay with it. I'm pretty sure you'd be okay with that too.
I'd be okay with it.
But we didn't get anything this week. I don't even think Superman and Lois was even there because I hadn't seen anything out of it. And I'm like, that's a missed opportunity. But I guess CW didn't want to do it that way. But we're going to start off with Shazam, Fury of the Gods. And the official trailer debuted. And you know what? We're going to watch it right now. Let's press some buttons here. And hopefully nothing breaks. So, Chris, I'm going to share my screen to you first. I
appreciate it.
This page.
Oh, look.
And then I'm going to do this.
There's Zachary Levi.
There is Zachary Levi.
And no matter how often I see him, every time I see him, the first thought that crosses my mind is Chuck.
Yeah, every single time. And someone even asked him that would Chuck be friends with the guy that plays Shazam? With Shazam, and he said, "Well, yeah, absolutely. He's a big nerd and he loves superheroes." So, so let's watch this trailer. This is our first one for Shazam: Fury of the Gods, and Chris, it's a good one. Here we go.
I'm an idiot. I don't deserve these powers, if I'm being honest. Like, what am I even contributing? Ow! There's already a superhero with a red suit with a lightning bolt on it.
Not much longer.
He's literally huge and he's so manly. And Batman is so cool. And I'm just me. I feel like a fraud. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the wizard gave me superpowers. And then everybody got superpowers.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay.
Now everyone's kind of like doing their own thing, and I'm the only one trying to keep it together.
You understand I'm a pediatrician.
right? Come on!
Listen to me, Billy. The fate of your world depends on it. The daughters of Atlas are coming for you.
Children stole the power of all the gods. This is very personal, Billy.
Look, I might not have as much experience as you, because I'm not super old like you. But I've seen all of the Fast and the Furious movies, lady. It's all about family! Family! Guys, that was a signal!
Introducing the star of our show. His name is Shazam!
So cool.
Yeah.
Your world will not survive this.
I don't know how we fight powers like this.
You think I know how to fix this, dude, but I really don't.
Billy, everyone can be worthy. Give it a chance. Now go fight for your family. Go fight for the world.
I just threw a truck at a dragon. I love my life.
It's really good because it's the music helps with it a lot too. So
Yeah.
I think that was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu.
Both of them looked great.
Yeah.
And I get chills every time watching that trailer because it's very well cut, and one of the only DCEU products that I feel like knows what in the world they're doing. And even with the sequel, that's a great trailer too. Had a little bit of jokes in there. Still had about the family. The family joke with Fast and Furious was so funny.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of the gods, but nothing Black Adam related. And I don't know if, because Black Adam comes out first, and then you have Shazam in January. So I don't know. Maybe an end credit scene in Black Adam teases something.
Maybe.
But
Maybe.
that's going to be a lot of fun. Black Adam going at Shazam, Zachary Levi and The Rock. That'd be a good movie.
They mentioned the Flash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. We don't talk about him anymore. Next up, they had Black Adam, the official teaser trailer for it. We got a lot more looks at some of the Justice Society in this one, so here we go with it.
My powers are not a gift, but a curse. Born out of rage. Black Adam. You believe you are not worthy. But you have two paths.
There was a lot of Dr. Fates in that one.
You can be the destroyer of this world. Or you can be its savior. The world needed a hero. Instead, it got me.
That's also going to be a really good movie.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
A lot of better
not a lot
looks
of
at Dr.
new
Fate on
info.
that one.
Right. That was the big part of the trailer was yeah.
It's going to be fun. I'm ready for that one too.
They've dragged it out long enough. It's
Yeah, I mean, it's been going on for like 14 years or something like that since they first announced it, and we're still waiting on it. So, I mean, you know. Oh, man. Let's see. All right, let's get to our... So that was DC. That's really all they had. I mean, they had the cast of both shows come out and talk for a little bit. Of course, The Rock came out with a very cool... what was it? Like he was elevated and he was in his suit and there was lightning behind him, and then smoke came up, and of course he said the line, "The DC universe is about to change," and Then went lights down. He changed out of his suit, came back into a normal clothes, and talked about the film. So
Cool.
it was pretty cool. It was a good one. But here we're getting a lot of fun stuff coming up with Marvel Animation Panel. So the Marvel Animation Panel was on Friday. Everything else was on Saturday, with MCU being last night on Saturday night. And we got a lot of crazy things out of this animation panel. We're going to go through each one, and you can see it here on screen for all the YouTube watchers and Chris, because I'm going to show some artwork that they showed off. Marvel Studios confirmed we will see our first look at both Spider-Man Freshman Year and X-Men 97. We're also expecting an update on the What If spin-off Marvel Zombies. I Am Groot first trailer and poster was premiered here. The first trailer for the adorable I Am Groot shorts was released online after its debut at the panel. Comic-Con attendees were also shown the first episode, Groot Takes a Bath, early. It just says after one of the episodes, magnum opus began showing in select theaters. So we'll watch the trailer first. And this is a 5-part mini-series. I don't imagine these episodes are going to be long at all for I Am Groot, but it's just a fun little thing.
It's also not canon.
No.
It's just for entertainment.
Because this is like Kid Groot.
Yeah.
Not our teenage Groot that we have. So here is the trailer for that one.
I love how they're playing up the big cinematic releases.
Right. It's so menacing.
Uh-oh.
We get this before She-Hulk. Something I really appreciate about Disney Plus is their logos for each of their shows, like this one right here, where it's the green with his little branch coming over and then it turns into the normal logo. Absolutely love that. This is going to be a fun show. Just a fun little something to hold us over until She-Hulk and then go from there. Let's see. Spider-Man Freshman Year. The first details were revealed for the Spider-Man Freshman Year animated series. The panel delivered looks at new pictures, villains, friends, and even details about Season 2. Surprising fans, Peter Parker will begin his journey as Spider-Man with the help of Doctor Strange and Daredevil. Yes, voiced by the one and only Charlie Cox. Freshman Year will debut on Disney Plus in 2024. There was an article that's rumored, so I didn't really put that in any of our news, that Tom Holland is not voicing Peter Parker here. So I don't know if that's true or not. There was only one website that reported it, and it looked super sketchy. So I'm like, I don't trust you. So I really didn't want to put that in.
Yeah. It would be weird for them to get Charlie Cox to do the voice of Daredevil
and not have your main Peter Parker. So here's some of that artwork, Chris. So here's our animated Spider-Man. Which is like, these are like almost straight from a comic book kind of artwork. You know what I mean? This is his first suit. I love the little jersey with the spider on it.
Yeah.
And then here's his Peter and Friends. Complete different cast. Everyone says this is not canon, which I would have thought this would have been canon, but like none of these characters are in any of the movies. So.
Right.
And then you've got the villains. You got Doc Ock, Scorpion. I don't know who this Flame guy is, but like there's a lot of villains for this. And then Doctor Strange, because in the show and the movie, he does not know who Doctor Strange is until Infinity War.
Yeah. So it probably isn't canon then, because like he's never met Dr. Otto Octavius. He's met the other universes.
Right.
Otto Octavius, but he hasn't met one.
Yeah, I was under the impression when they announced this was going to be canon. It was just going to be animated to how he got his powers and everything, and just be a short little series for that. But I guess we're not doing this one. And then here's Daredevil. in it. The black with little
That's
accents
an
of red.
interesting
It's from the
choice.
comics.
Yeah, but I mean, you're thinking, okay, Spider-Man freshman year, they're going back kind of to his beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that they would kind
Which
of go back to Daredevils as well,
right. So well,
because
we're gonna have more news on Daredevil later. Don't you
yeah,
worry,
yeah,
Chris. Don't you worry.
a little bit.
And then here's the Spider-Man suits that he evolved from, which freshman year as well, he did not have this suit, the main red
Right.
and blue one, until Tony Stark. So don't understand that. We got Future Foundation here. And then you've got a stealthy looking suit, and then whatever these are on the end. I've got no answer for you or what those are.
I'm sure we'll find out.
Yeah. Also revealed was that design for Norman Osborn, who is said to be the mentor in this series, akin to Tony Stark. This is verbatim from Civil War, this picture, except it's Tony Stark and hot Aunt May.
Yeah.
This is this is him talking to Norman Osborn again. And then it's Spider-Man's Disney Plus series MCU canon. It was first announced during Disney Plus Day. It was marketed as canon to the MCU. However, this latest updates appears to confirm that the upcoming web slinger series will not connect to the larger MCU. Instead, it is expected to be part of the multiverse. I don't know why they do it that way, but I guess if that's something they want to do, that's what they want to do. What If Season 2? Marvel Studios has announced that What If Season 2 will debut sometime in early 2023, a delay from the previously reported 2022 release date, with Season 3 already in the works. Panel attendees also got the chance to watch the first episode, What If Captain Carter Fought the Hydra Stomper, and received confirmation Elizabeth Olsen will return as Scarlet Witch in the series. They also confirmed this weekend as well that the Madam Hydra we saw in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is not the one from the What If series. Which I'm like,
Okay.
Sure. But also, I meant to bring this up at the beginning of the show. This is spoiler filled. So if you're not caught up on Thor or any of the previous MCU shows, movies, you're going to want to skip a lot because we're going to talk full spoilers. Of course, it is our movie review this week is the spoiler-filled what we thought of Thor, Love and Thunder. So just want to preface that for everybody watching and listening.
Yeah.
Marvel Zombies made a huge splash with the announcement that it'll be rated TVMA, the first Marvel Studios project to be rated as such. The show will officially include many Phase 4 faces in its undead survival crew, including Kate Bishop, Yelena, Shang-Chi, Miss Marvel, and Jimmy Woo. There were also looks at zombified versions of Icarus, Scarlet Witch, Captain Marvel, and more, which is what we are going to look at. I believe here they should have all... Yes. So if you look at this picture here, we've got zombified Scarlet Witch. You can see Abomination here, and I don't know who this is in the back, because this is Abomination right here, which is what you think is who that is. You got zombified Yelena here. Zombified, I think this is Hawkeye, maybe. I'm unsure. You've got Miss Marvel, and then you got a half-spliced Captain America there. Or Captain Marvel, sorry. And then we come down here to our heroes of the show. You've got Yelena, Hawkeye, Jimmy Woo, which I think is hilarious. He's got this little ragtag thing. He's got a card in his hand. You got Shang-Chi looking really cool with his rings. Then Miss Marvel, the Death Dealer from Shang-Chi. Red Guardian's coming back, and Awkwafina's Katie is in this show. So I'm excited about that one. And then you've got the Skrull biker gang is in it. And then former Black Widows. And then here's your zombified Icarus. Don't know how they're going to do that. But everything about this is TVMA, and it's going to be fun. I'm really excited about all that.
Definitely be a fun show.
Which we will review here as well. And then, X-Men 97. Marvel showed off new looks at the X-Men the animated series follow-up, X-Men 97. The new show keeps the art style and characters of the original, adding new characters such as Sunspot, Cable, Bishop, and Nightcrawler. Marvel Studios also confirmed that second season has already been greenlit. X-Men 97 will debut in the fall of 2023. And we've got some new pictures from it. Here is our cast. Which
Classic animation.
Yes,
style.
and I'm so excited about it. And here's our new characters. Sunspot, which is one of the newer X-Men. We got Morph, Cable, Bishop, Forge, and of course, Nightcrawler. So cool. I mean, the original comic look at Nightcrawler, I love it. Absolutely love it. Here is some of our villains. We got Emma Frost, Callisto, Val Cooper. Oh, this is Mr. Sinister, sorry. Here's Frost and a couple other people. And then here, the leader of the X-Men. It's not Charles Xavier, but Magneto. In his classic Magneto suit. So, looks great. I can't wait. I'm curious to see how he leads the X-Men as well. And then, now it's time for what Chris has got the logo behind him. It is time for the MCU Mega Panel. Here we go. Marvel's Hall H panel at Comic-Con has now concluded, and there were plenty of surprises. Read up to date on the latest MCU news, including Phase 4, 5, 6, and the Multiverse Saga. They started off with, this is kind of out of order, but we're going to come back to it once we go through all this. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. A new poster for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania revealed the first looks at Ant-Man, Wasp, and Cassie Lang's Stinger. Additionally, this poster includes the first peek at Jonathan Majors' villainous Kang the Conqueror. Footage from the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania was shown to attendees at Comic-Con, but not here. Not for the public. I'm excited. That officially kicks off Phase 4. This movie does.
You pull up that poster.
I sure can. Let me see.
It's a really cool poster.
Yeah, I mean, this is very well done. And I love the Cassie Lang. Look, you see the Converses on her?
Uh-huh.
That's really cool. And then Jonathan Majors looming in the background. He's about to blow up. He's fun.
This film is meant for me because it actually comes out the day after my birthday.
See? They made it just for you.
Yeah, that's it.
So, let's see here.
Happy birthday to me.
Right. Starting off Phase 5.
February 17th is when that drops.
Oh, so we'll watch it Thursday on your birthday, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look at there. Starting off Phase 5 with a bang and your birthday. Captain America New World Order. Captain America 4 has officially gotten its title called Captain America New World Order. Anthony Mackie will star Sam Wilson in the newest entry in the franchise, carrying on the mantle from Chris Evans' star Steve Rogers. Of course, from the series we watched, Falcon and Winter Soldier. She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Tatiana Maslany's She-Hulk Attorney at Law received a second trailer at Comic-Con, which we're about to watch. And we're going to watch it now before we read on. Here is the She-Hulk number 2 trailer.
Much better than the first.
Correct.
Wow! Jeez, what the hell,
Have you seen this one? You saw this one, right?
The overwhelming feelings of rage.
No, a normal amount of rage.
You do revert back to Gen form when you sleep.
Was the air horn really necessary?
For comedy, absolutely. This is a
Mark Ruffalo had
multi-year
a lot of fun
journey you're
filming
about to embark on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's your best friend?
Nikki.
I was really expecting her to say Jessica Jones.
Spandex is your best friend. Being a Hulk asks for balance.
This is funny.
You have so much more to learn. Yes!
So I'm clearly nailing it at all of these things.
If you want to go back to your life
Thunderclap.
as a lawyer, I respect that.
He doesn't mean that.
She broke the fourth wall there.
Yeah.
I noticed that like on my second viewing. Oh, wait.
More and
She
more
just broke the
eccentric
fourth wall.
Superhumans are coming out of the woodwork.
Frogman.
We are going to launch a division for them, and I want the She-Hulk to be the face of it.
Jennifer Waters. Namaste.
Abomination,
I have
baby.
a serious conflict of interest. This man tried to kill my cousin, Bruce.
Yeah, that's quite all right.
Oh. People
comedy's
only
gonna
care
hit in this
because
one.
I'm representing Emil Blonsky.
I think they care because they're like, hey, that girl's green.
Jen, do your thing.
God, I really like this outfit.
I'm not
Fight
proud
with
of this.
Titania in the courtroom.
Miss Walters, we
It's the
answer
Wong
to
CU,
our
baby.
Power. Our universe is on the edge of a precipice.
He's
I
the
am
new
a
Nick
lawyer.
Fury.
Yes, he is.
We do things by the book.
The Book of Ashanti.
No, the book of
Nice
American
callback to
laws.
Multiverse.
Whether you like it or not, you're now a superhero.
Let's do this. You know that friend you had in high school? who was way cooler than you were attractive, got all the attention from everyone. Hello.
I think I'm jealous. Is that what I'm feeling?
It flicks the camera off.
And finally,
Yellow and red suit Daredevil. Dude.
yep.
I can't wait, man. It's going to be so good. Like, my expectation for that show just skyrocketed after watching that trailer.
Yeah, my first thought when I saw Daredevil was there's two options here. He's either warning her that she's a target for assassination, and that's how they introduce Elektra.
Mm-hmm.
Or she needs help with a case, and he's going to introduce her to Jessica Jones.
Yep. And because she knows him as a lawyer and everything too. And I mean, dude, we went from a point of not knowing the existence of the Netflix Marvel shows to now having Daredevil in like 4 different new things. And we'll talk about it when we talk about when we get the phase 4, 5, and 6 timelines. But I mean, he was in Spider-Man, we had no idea about. And now he's in She-Hulk, no idea about. And then some other things we'll talk about here in a minute. But I'm like, he's had a glow up, and I'm really excited about it.
Spider-Man was great because the scene that we thought he was going to be in wasn't the scene he was in.
It is so good, man. I'm telling you, it's so good. Among others, the trailer confirms the return of Charlie Cox as Daredevil in the series. Thunderbolts. Kevin Feige officially announced Thunderbolts, a team-up movie featuring some notable villains of the franchise. The film will debut on July 26, 2024. The Thunderbolts movie will mark the end of the Marvel Studios Phase 5. So we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Thunderbolts was greenlit. Obviously, they're talking about it now. But July, so we've got 2 years till that movie comes out, which we're about to look at the timeline here, but it shows a lot. And then we got this bit of great news here. Actually, I want to go and do. Let me get to it.
This is all in order.
Yeah, I want to do the calendar.
Let's do the calendar.
Instead of the.
Here we go.
So this is officially Phase 5 calendar. Phase 4 ends with Black Panther in November. And then Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania starts off Phase 5 next year in February 17. So we got Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania February 17th, 2023. Spring 2023 with Secret Invasion. They showed off a clip at Comic-Con for people to see. And everyone said it. He had Nick Fury. He had 2 eyes. And he was chasing down some Skrull. And it looked more like a thriller TV show more than anything. And I'm like, that sounds fun. And Colby, what's her last name? Plays
Smulders.
Yes, she was there she was the only one there from the show, and was talking about it. And she's back as Maria Hill. And when was the last time we saw her? Because I don't. Was it Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
And no, I think it was the last scene of Infinity War. Right? She's with Fury when he sends Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's a good call.
The distress.
Man, it's been that long since we've seen her.
May
5th, 2023, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which it was said to, we'll talk about it here in a minute. Summer 2023 is also Echo. They're filming it now. Loki Season 2, Summer 2023, also being filmed right now. The Marvels, July 26, 2023. After seeing Miss Marvel, and we talked about it last week, I am even more hyped about that one, more than I was before the TV show. November 3rd, 2023, Blade, with the worst logo I think they couldn't have made for this, to be honest with you. Looks like a squiggly 3, an eye, I don't know, a French fry with some ketchup on it. Anyways, fall 2023 is Ironheart series.
Tyler, blood.
Oh, okay, And then we got a change for Agatha. It was supposed to be the House of Harkness. It is now the Coven of Chaos. And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with that. That's a good change.
Much better.
And then our series we are getting in spring 2024 is Daredevil Born Again. And this is an 18-episode series with Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio coming back for their roles. And it's been, I wonder if we'll get to it here in a minute because I'm sure they've got more here to talk about. And then Captain America: New World Order, May 3rd, 2024, and then Thunderbolts was July 26th, 2024, which ends Phase 5. We talked about that just a second ago. I want to see if they talked about this. Yes, Daredevil Born Again. Marvel Studios announced that Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio will return the roles of Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk to the new Disney Plus series, Daredevil Born Again, which will have 18 episodes. I've read somewhere that it is before the Netflix show, after the Netflix show. It might actually have in this article.
Actually, that storyline, it's a Frank Miller storyline.
Yes.
And they already did it as the 3rd season for the Netflix show. So I'm not sure what.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I guess the first 2 seasons are canon, and now they're redoing this plot point.
I'd be okay with
for this
that.
particular story.
I'd be fine with that. It isn't clear if the show will be a direct continuation of the series or not. The canonicity of the former show has been a hotly debated topic amongst friends. Odds are that Born Again will selectively acknowledge previous stories but not strictly adhere to every single event that happened. Hopefully Marvel will at least bring back Bullseye as the villain is perfectly set up at the end of Season 3. So, good point there. Let's see what else. Agatha, Covenant of Chaos, which we talked about. Loki Season 2 we talked about. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 premiered footage of the movie at San Diego Comic-Con, which offered new details of Gamora's return and villainous High Evolutionary. Director James Gunn also delivered 2 exciting casting confirmation, but they also said this is the end of the story. He said, because everyone was booing him there. He said, I'm not saying people are dying. He said, I'm not saying everyone dies. He said, but I'm saying every story has an end. And he goes, and this is the end of my Guardians of the Galaxy story. So, I mean, there are obviously going to be cameos and things, but I think this is James Gunn saying, hey, we're done. But I'm done with the story. So, good for him. And then let's go to our Phase 6 calendar schedule, which they did not really reveal a whole lot, but Phase 6 starts off with November 8th, 2024, Fantastic Four. So, I mean, we're just 2 years away from that. Not too terribly crazy. We should start getting casting news, I would feel like, soon. Maybe D23. They announced this.
At least 1 or 2 of the title characters.
Mm-hmm. And then, like Infinity War and Endgame, we've got 2 movies here. May 2nd, 2025, Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. And then, what was it? May, June, July, August, September. 6 months later, we get November 7th, Avengers: Secret Wars. And that will end Phase 6 and end the Multiverse Saga, which is Phase 4, 5, and 6. But if you look here on this picture, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 missing titles for Phase 6.
One of those we know should be Armor Wars.
Correct. And the director of it already said, yes, it is still in the works. So,
yeah. So it should fall somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
Which leaves what?
Shang-Chi 2, maybe?
Shang-Chi 2. Are we going to get another Spider-Man film?
That's everyone has noticed that. If you notice in Phase 5 and Phase 6, no Spider-Man movies.
Right.
So, the Sony deal is still up in the air, I guess, right now. But I'm very curious to see how they're going to do that.
One thing I think we are going to get, if we can speculate a little bit here before we get any further. You mentioned Black Panther closes this phase.
Mm-hmm.
I think we meet Dr. Doom.
Oh, you think so?
I don't think he's in his comic costume yet, but I think we'll meet a Victor Von Doom because
I want nothing more.
As we'll see in the trailer, Wakanda gets a little wet.
Mm-hmm. Chris, yes.
The ruins of Wakanda are the headquarters for the Cabal in the comics. And Dr. Doom is part of the Cabal, along with Namor.
Yes.
By the way. So.
Which was confirmed for this movie. It's been hinted at, rumored, and for sure hit. And then they ended the panel off with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Ryan Coogler and the full cast of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever took the stage at Comic-Con to pay tribute to Chadwick Boseman and reveal exciting new details about the movie. And the first trailer was shown, and everyone brace yourselves because, as I have told Chris and as I have talked about off camera and everything, this is by far the best trailer I think I've ever seen in my life. I know for sure MCU wise, but best trailer ever made, I feel like. So let's jump right into it. And here we go.
No woman, no cry. Little darling, don't shed no tear. No woman, no cry.
A lot of this is from the funeral scene.
Yeah.
Good friends we have and good friends we've lost along the way. In this great future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears, I said.
There he is.
Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright now. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be.
I am queen of the most powerful nation in the world, and my entire family is gone. Have I not given everything?
If she didn't get an Oscar for this, I don't know what's wrong with her.
All right.
So good, man.
So
Oh,
I know it wasn't him, but that looked like Daniel Craig at one point in the trailer.
what part?
It's after this. It's after where you're at. It's just a brief scene of this guy with combed over blonde hair, parted on the side, sunglasses, looks like an agent. I think it's coming up.
Oh, this is a very cool shot, by the way.
That I'm thinking that has to be a flashback scene.
This one?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know because it's just her.
If that died, I know, but she says her entire family's gone. Shuri, as far as we know, is still alive. So
Right.
what happens to her?
Oh,
Would they give that away in a trailer
Oh, that's a good point because this could be from Endgame.
after the snap?
Yeah, after the snap. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets me every time.
Yeah. I wish I'd noticed the timestamp for when I
So-
think it's right around here.
These are all. You see how they all have mouthpieces on? I guess lets them breathe on land. But I like the Aztecian
Yeah.
vibe that they went with these.
Yeah. Absolutely. Him.
That's Martin Freeman. He's been in.
Okay.
He was in Civil War and Black Panther, the first
That's
one.
right. That's right.
That's old Shorty McGee here. I'm really glad they brought him back.
Brain fart.
And then this one right here, Riri Williams,
Yep.
our Ironheart. If Tony
Cutting
Stark could
the-
build a suit in the cave, she could do it in Wakanda.
Cutting the heart into the chest
Yep.
plate.
So cool, man. God, I could watch this just forever. But that is it for our Comic-Con coverage as far as our big shows go.
The speculation now has to begin. Who is Black Panther?
Yes, that's the question, Chris. I really hope it's not Shuri. I mean, we've talked about that countless times, and the fact that she did not get booed last night kind of irks me. I think it's either. I would love for it to be M'Baku. I read somewhere last night that was leaked that it's him. Because he
Oh yeah.
almost got it before Chadwick Boseman did, or before T'Challa did, and or someone has also said it could be the love interest. I forgot her name from the first one. She was right at the beginning of it and did the God, what was it? The little raiders and hunters and things like that. She was in there as a refugee,
Yeah.
and her. So I don't know. We will see.
I think M'Baku's probably my bet.
I would be okay if you would. I watched the full panel. Someone had it leaked on YouTube. I'm sure it's already taken down, but they didn't have like the scenes. They took out like the trailers and the scenes that they showed, but they had the cast up and everything. And when he came out on the stage, that crowd went wild for him. And like he even did his whole M'Baku thing. Like he was going, I forget what the exact wording is, but he did the Yahweh thing, and everyone said, "Oh!" The whole crowd was going, "Oh!" It was awesome. And I'm like, you guys, you have to put him as Black Panther. I mean, there's just no way. So I'd be okay with him being it.
What do you think's going on with the ship?
I don't know. Like I don't understand like the whole
A
square
research
cutout.
vessel. See that's what I'm thinking. Maybe Dr. Victor Von Doom is there.
Doing something, and Wakanda gets blamed for it because Wakanda and is it Atlanteans? Like Namor's people? I forget what they all are.
Yeah.
And
Atlanteans, yeah.
And they're always at war. So for some reason they never see eye to eye. They've been at war from the beginning of time. And that much I do know from the comics. So I'm really curious to see how we get Namor. Like, how are we going to get him? How does he fit into the bigger picture of the MCU? And why hasn't he shown himself since?
Yeah.
Is he was the Eternals? Is that the baby Celestial? Did that upset everything, and that's why he's making a comeback? Is it Victor Von Doom? Is it something the Wakandans did? I mean,
he's very vengeful in the comics. So you would think when the snap happened, that he would have been
trying to figure something out.
Right. He would have wanted to know what the hell just happened or whatever. So.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of questions here. But
a whole lot of questions.
Best trailer, period. I mean, there's nothing there. I'm gonna watch it again when we get done with the podcast. Let us know down in the comments below, ladies and gentlemen, which one was your favorite trailer? What was your favorite bit of news coming out of San Diego Comic-Con? We're gonna talk about some other things, but nothing major as what we just watched. But we will talk about those here as well throughout the show. But let's get right into that. We'll get back to our normal show here. TV. Chris, what you been watching, and what did you think of American Horror Stories Season 2?
Well, the first episode dropped. It was really good.
Jamie said, she goes, "Oh, tell Chris that I loved it." So, whatever that meant. I'm assuming it's about that show.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So she loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it. So, the reason I think I texted you about it, and it does at the very end. They take what to that point looked like it was not going to tie into anything. It was going to be like a standalone story, and they tie it into Coven.
Yes.
Which was the third season.
Which was, I think, Jamie's favorite. So.
Yeah. Yeah, they tie it into Coven. So I don't know if it's hard to tell with them how they. It's kind of like Marvel. You know, they may or may not tie this in and kick off a whole new season. We don't know. But it was really good. It's all set in this doll maker has a life-size dollhouse. And he caught his wife, to give the backstory, he caught his wife cheating.
Oh, of course.
So he has she and her lover thrown down this well on the property. And now he's looking for a new wife and new mother for his son. So when he gets these women that interview for a secretary job, if he thinks they're a good candidate to be a wife and mother, he'll have them kidnapped and taken to this house, and they have to dress like dolls and wear masks like dolls, and he puts them through a series of tests, and if they each round the one that fails the worst gets killed.
Oh, because that's just normal.
Yeah.
Here comes
Perfect.
normal Jane here trying to get a secretary job, and
Yeah, but it loops around pretty good. It's got a good ending to it. So
I'll take your word on it, Chris. I have
it's not really all that scary.
Yeah, just more of a thrillery kind of.
Yeah, that episode at least.
Yeah. Well, I cannot get hooked on the show. I have been, Chris, watching Big Brother, of course. This is going to be a crazy week coming up. We got a 2-hour thing tonight to watch whenever it airs in 35-40 minutes from now. But I also have watched The Flash Season 8. Yes, Chris. All 20 episodes in 1 week. Again, one of those shows that anyone could just be doing anything on other screens and have it going. Still cheesy.
Yeah.
It's normal. Some acting's really bad. Some acting's really good. Storylines are a little wonky. We had a major character death this season, and then we had the John Diggle wrap up. So still don't know if that was a ring or not. He throws the box after talking like it sounded like the ring, but the box didn't ever show the ring. It showed a green light. And then the box closed, and he threw it, and he said, "I'll never be." He goes, Ida Bartholomew asked him, he goes, "What did you see?" He said, "I saw me never seeing my family again." And he said, "I can't have that," and just threw the box, and it disappeared. So John Diggle is not Jon Stewart or a Green Lantern. How many years, Chris, did we get that just for that?
They're wrapping up the Arrowverse stuff.
Yeah.
I think next year is it for the Flash.
I think so too. I think it's due time. It'll be season 9, and I would be okay with that. It's our last Arrowverse show too, which I absolutely hate. But there was also that one point, remember, that John Diggle was getting his own show, the DCEU. I haven't heard anything else about it, so I don't know if that's still going on.
Probably not.
But which would have been really cool.
Warner Brothers. Yeah. I think Warner Brothers and Discovery they're realizing that they need to, like they said, they want to do a reset so that they can do this properly and
kicking the good shows to the curb.
Yeah.
Hate it. Speaking of things that I feel like is worth it, Netflix lost 970,000 subscribers in Q2. Going to HollywoodReporter.com by J. Clara Chan. Netflix lost 970,000 subscribers during the second quarter, performing better than its expectation of a $2 million loser loss, the company disclosed on Tuesday. During the first quarter, when Netflix lost 200,000 subscribers and spurred Wall Street and Hollywood to reevaluate the economics of the streaming business, the company warned that it is expected to lose an additional 2 million subscribers during that. Remember, we reported on that earlier this year. Though the quarter still ended with a net loss in subscribers, the streaming giant is projected it will add 1 million subscribers in Q3. On what show, Chris? I mean, you have to have a reason for people to come to Netflix, and they're expecting 1 million people they're essentially expecting the 970,000 they lost to come back. And I'm like, if Stranger Things didn't do that, because that was in Q2, what's bringing people back?
Yeah, I think they lost fewer people than they expected because of Stranger Things.
Yeah. And that was talked about, but now we've got several years until the next one.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what they're gonna do.
It makes no sense to me.
Lower the price would help.
Well, they're getting ready to do that paid subscription, no house sharing thing soon. Mm-hmm. So that's gonna make people lose it. I mean, if I didn't have the shows I had on there, I would leave, but because I'm attached to literally everything else. Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera will return as Rick Grimes and Michonne in a 6-part limited series on AMC+. Now, Chris, if you remember, this was supposed to be a movie. And we'll get into that. We're going to AMC.com, and this article does not give us who the byline was by. Well, that kind of sucks for staff writer at AMC. AMC Network announced today at San Diego Comic-Con that Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera will reunite for a new series in the expanding universe around The Walking Dead. The series will continue the journey and love story of the Rick Grimes and Michonne characters. Lincoln and Guerrero, who have been actively involved in conceiving the creative and the continuation of their character's story, made the surprise announcement while both on stage as part of the final panel of The Walking Dead at Comic-Con. Scott M. Gimple, Chief Content Officer of The Walking Dead universe, will serve as showrunner on the series, which will begin with 6 episodes in 2023. Quote, "This is a moment fans of The Walking Dead have been waiting for since Rick disappeared in the helicopter early in Season 9, and Michonne journeyed away on a quest to find him the following season," said Dan McDermott, president of the Entertainment AMC Studios. "What a great surprise for the fans of the final Comic-Con for the series that launched this universe and made television history. We couldn't be more excited for a truly epic series finale later this year and to see Andy and Denai return in a new series they helped create. One of 3 new series coming in 2023 that continue the stories of so many iconic and fan favorite TWD characters." I'm sorry. 3 new series coming in 2023. I mean, you kill one off. Let's make 3 more. Hail Hydra.
Over. I mean, I really think that's why this became a series instead of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
They realized they missed their window to go into features, and they got to the point where everyone got tired of the stories. It was just going on and on and on, and I'm not going to say everybody, because obviously people still watch the show. And
enough for them to make 3 new shows out of.
Yeah, well, and that could just be a rights thing. Maybe they still have
true.
the rights. They're like, we need to do something with it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, good for them, I guess, you know. I would have rather been a movie, but I also haven't watched the show in 5 years now, maybe. That's another one I need to try and get back to, and maybe I will, but I know my addictive personality and don't know if I'm ready for that yet. Zack Snyder will guest star as himself in Teen Titans Go. We're going to Variety.com at Carson Burton. The director behind DC films like Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Zack Snyder's Justice League will voice himself in guest star appearance on the new episode of the popular Cartoon Network show Variety has confirmed. The news was announced Saturday during the Cartoon Network Winter Takes presentation at San Diego Comic-Con. The panel for Teen Titans Go included executive producer Pete McHale, alongside voice cast members Greg Kipes and Tara Strong. Snyder is set to appear in the series' 365th episode, fittingly titled 365. And due to the landmark nature of the installment, the Titans decide that they need to make this episode as special as possible. Thus, the younger superpower team head to the Warner Brothers lot and find the perfect director for the special chapter. The episode will premiere this fall. Good for them.
Yeah.
I had no idea there was going to be 365 episodes.
So, this is sort of unrelated to this specific bit of news, but kind of not. When we watched the trailer for Shazam, they use images from Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Correct.
So, is it canon?
I don't know.
They said no. Said no. So. But they keep referencing it.
Right.
He's still involved in. Well, why have him in this?
Yeah, it's a good point. I don't know. Teen Titans Go is a funny show. Stella has watched it a couple times, and I love it. Like, it's anytime it's on, I want to watch it because it's funny. It makes fun of itself.
I just wish they were more clear.
With the Warner Brothers? Releases this week, Chris. Wednesday, July 27th, High School, the musical, the series. That's new season comes on Disney Plus. Thursday, July 28th, Harley Quinn's new season on HBO Max, which I think that's one show we need to take a look into. I've heard nothing but great things.
We've got time.
We do have time. Okay. Thursday, July 28th, Pretty Little Liars Original Sin on HBO Max. Don't know what that is, but I put it in there. Friday, July 29th, Paper Girls premieres on Prime Video. That is I think it's a Dynamite Comics adaptation of the same name.
Sounds right.
But I've heard it's going to be good. And then that's it for TV news. And I'm going to stop talking for a good minute so I can catch my breath.
We're just going to sit in silence.
Right.
No, seriously. So, with movies, I'll just ask you for a quick yes or no. Did you watch anything else this week?
No, nothing else this week. I was busy with... Listen, these live feeds, Chris, I say it every single week. It has now taken over my wife's life too. So
20 episodes of The Flash and the Big Brother live feed, and you're pretty much done.
yeah, I'm pretty tapped out and trying to catch up on all the San Diego stuff.
All right. I did watch a couple things this week. So I watched last week. I had watched the first Major League movie, so I finished out the trilogy. I
You
watched
hadn't seen
Major
the
League
third one,
2.
right?
You know, I didn't think that I had, but when I was watching it, I was like, some of this is definitely familiar. So I'd seen it probably when it came out back in 1998,
And it's been
and I just
20 years since, give or take.
yeah. Yeah, I actually thought it was pretty entertaining. I would put it on par with the second movie.
Well, that's good then.
You know, yeah, it's not terrible for sure. Um, so we're here to talk Love and Thunder. Spoilers for Love and Thunder. Next week we will do Spiderhead, which I realize sounds like the type of movie we would not typically review on the show.
At least not until September and October.
Well, it sounds like it could be for adults only.
Yeah. Okay.
Who
yeah,
knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But we swear we've been told it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh.
There's so much to get into because there's so little we talked about
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks ago because we didn't want to spoil anything. One of the big plot points here is that Jane has cancer.
Yes, which was straight from the comics.
Uh-huh. She's she's worthy to wield Mjolnir, and she believes that will help her because it heals her basically when she
Turns her into a
wields
god.
it.
So
But as they find out by the end of the movie, every time she turns into Thor, her body becomes weaker because it can't withstand that transformation.
it
So
takes the strength out of her.
it doesn't have energy to fight when the cancer returns when she's just Jane. And yes, it ends up killing her.
Which was so sad.
Thor tries to convince her to take the treatment and rest up and give herself a chance to survive so that they can be together again because they have kind of reignited things to a point during the course of the movie. And she initially agrees, but then realizes that they need her help to stop Gore and wields the hammer.
Well, they don't realize it. She realizes it and helps him out to fight
Right.
Gore at the very end.
Right.
Because Thor was like, you're not touching it anymore.
Yeah.
So
She ends up dying. But technically, she died on the field of battle.
Yep.
So therefore, we find out in the end credit scene, she has gained entry into Valhalla. And she's
who's there to
welcomed
greet
by
her?
Heimdall.
Oh, absolutely loved it. We hadn't seen the
So
rest
great.
of him, and
No.
so good.
Now, I wish he was from the standpoint of the actor with Idris Elba. I wish he was a different character.
Yes.
They cast him at a time before he had really taken off.
Well, that's even before the MCU had really taken off.
Yeah, but I think he was on the. I think he had just started the show Luther over on the BBC
Yeah, that was right around that time.
when they cast him. So I think that's one thing that if Kevin Feige had known how his career was going to go and how he was going to show himself as an actor, he would have put him in another part. He might have been Blade.
That would be really cool too.
I mean,
Could still have the multiverse, Who knows?
Yeah. But that's really one of the two major storylines here.
I
is
think.
Jane.
Have we talked about that? The reason it felt so jokey and everything. There was a theory being thrown around. Have we talked about that theory?
I don't think so.
Because
No.
a lot of people, us both included, said it was really more jokey than it was on the serious notes. But people are saying that at the beginning of the movie, it starts with Korg telling the story, and it ends the movie with Korg finishing the story. So the reason it's so jokey,
he's the narrator.
Because he's seen it. We're watching from his eyes, and that's why it's so, jokey like that. That's a
That
good
makes
theory.
sense. I wish they'd made it clearer if that's what they wanted it to, because it comes off bad.
Yeah.
In some parts, like screaming goats.
You hated the screaming goats.
They were funny the first couple times, and then when they crashed into the planet, that was good. But it was all the other moments. They're constantly screaming, and it's like, all right, I'm over this. And everyone in the theater stopped reacting to it.
Ours was laughing every single one.
And I was like, yeah, this is not.
Yeah.
They've gone back to the well too often for the joke, and it killed it.
I think my favorite part of this movie was the end with the kids, where he says, give everyone here the power of Thor temporarily. To help me fight it. And it's just really a very cool scene, because this is, a lot of people have said this is like an epilogue to Thor's story, because we've been through everything with him. We've done all of his main storylines at this point, and having this be like an epilogue, because he's already super powered. I mean, he gets Zeus's lightning and becomes even more kind of supercharged. I liked the subplot of Thor wanting Mjolnir back, but Stormbreaker was very jealous of Mjolnir, and it coming out of the screen that one time in New Asgard was so funny. And the fact that they kept doing it, kind of like the screaming goes over and over and over again. At some points, I was like, okay, this is kind of getting annoying, but they did have the comical beats to it. And then the end where Thor is now a father to Gore's child named Love, and it's Chris Hemsworth's actual daughter playing that character. Now she is in the MCU with Stormbreaker. And with Chris Hemsworth was Thor back with Mjolnir, and they're going around the universe saving people. So cool, and such a setup for Young Avengers. Just there's no way that they're not setting it up. And we talked about Phase 6 earlier with all those blanks. Young Avengers, there has to be a setup in there somewhere, but because they're setting that up so hard right now. I think that's got to pay off yet.
I think that's what a lot of those blank spaces are. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't get a Young Avengers, a New Avengers, a Dark Avengers. I think they could sprinkle all that in there and just be, because they're gonna introduce these teams for Secret Wars. Otherwise, you don't have Secret Wars.
Right.
They've got to fill that with characters to actually have a battle. So we kind of danced around 2 weeks ago. They don't show Gore's kills of the other gods. They just kind of skim over, and he's really not a bad guy. Like, I know that sounds weird, but he's grieving the loss of his daughter
because a god did not step in to help him.
Right, and when he meets that god, and he believes he's going to paradise because he looks at this oasis in the middle of this desert. And the god's like, no, there'll be more people to take your place to worship me. I don't care about you. So the thing he hinged his entire life on is gone, and his daughter is now dead. And he snaps.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
And that's what makes this character such a good villain, because it's almost not a villain. You know what I mean?
Right. You really understand his viewpoint. So the only thing that makes you want him taken down really is the fact that he goes after Thor.
Right. I mean, other than that, he's going around killing all these other gods, and we see the aftermath of some of them. But I feel like, and like you were saying, if they would have put those killings and made us think that, okay, this guy really is a bad guy and he's killing him, or make him more of a threat, rather. And not one point did I feel like, okay, this guy could kill Thor. Just
Right.
because we didn't, you keep calling him the God Killer, but we all saw him kill one god, and
Right.
it's like if it would have sprinkled in some of those scenes, it would have been a little bit different. I think it was a great way to portray that Thor is not like all these other guys, because these other ones just would have let those kids go on. He never intended to kill these kids or do anything with
No.
them. They were just bait for Thor, and
Yeah.
turns to find out that Thor is one of those good guys. When Gore was dying, I forget what line he said, but he said, yeah, if he entrusted love to Thor, that's a pretty big deal. So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
really cool.
Thor tells him something along the lines of, you can have your revenge, or you can bring your daughter back.
Right.
Make your wish, because he's made it all the way to eternity.
Well, that was
So he gets a wish.
and that was his wish, because everyone thought it was in the whole movie too that he was going to wish all the gods dead, but no, he was going to wish for his daughter back. And I'm just like, so many misconceptions here, miscommunication.
Mhm.
But it's crazy.
Yeah. It's really there's elements along. We get some Darcy,
Mm-hmm. One scene.
which one was better than none. It would have been
Yes.
better if she was. I would have liked to have seen her more involved in New Asgard.
Yes. We got Melissa McCarthy in the
Melissa
play
McCarthy
with
in the
Matt
play,
Damon and
along
Heather
Luke
Hemsworth.
Liam.
Liam.
I don't know why I said Luke. Liam.
So
It was Liam
I lost
Hemsworth
it during
and
that
Matt Damon.
scene. I'm so glad they brought that back.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. That was funny.
Mm-hmm.
The other stuff through the film was funny. It was just, it's like they went back to some stuff so much, and then to not have some of the gore kills in there.
Right.
I think if you'd replace some of that humor with some of the actual kills, it makes it more relevant.
I did like we got the scene of Jane and Thor after Thor 2 Dark World, where they were a couple and living together, and they were
That
both doing their
montage,
jobs.
yeah.
I thought that was very well done. Caught us caught up,
Uh-huh.
and we found out, what happened to Jane.
Yeah.
And they just drifted apart because of their jobs. And the one big funny thing we got out of that was in Thor's phone, Nick Fury is under Nick Furry. And just a stupid spelling mistake, but it was just so stupid and funny. Like it made the whole theater laugh at mine. And I was like, God, it's just that stupid stuff that Marvel does well.
And you also had a nice deal where we get that nice comedy beat with Sif,
Mm-hmm.
where she thinks she's going to Valhalla, and he's like, well, technically, you didn't die in battle.
Yes. She said, just let me die. I'm ready to go to Valhalla. He goes, well, technically, you didn't die in battle. She
like,
said, what? He says, your arm will go to Valhalla, but not you.
And then we see her at the end training Heimdall's son,
Axel.
which is fantastic.
It's a very cool scene. We see Valkyrie training a whole new set of Valkyries. So, very well done.
Very well. We do get the Guardians in this.
Yeah.
We get them at the very beginning.
Like 5 minutes of it.
Yeah, they see
Enough, though.
They see on the screen some of Gore's places he's been, where he's killed some gods, and so they take off to try and help in those areas while we follow Thor on his main quest.
Right.
So,
I want to see it again.
I don't know what comes out of this, though. I mean, outside of Love, who could be a young Avenger, and outside of Thor still being around to put together a new Avengers,
right,
or an Avengers West Coast, what comes out of this movie?
Mm-hmm. And that's where it comes into the Phase 4.
Because
from the article from last week,
we do get the mid-credit scene with Hercules.
Yes, Brett Goldstein.
Um,
we don't think that's going to be a new Thor movie, though, right? Or do you think it's just going to be somewhere?
I'm trying to think of where they'd put it.
Right. 'Cause
Unless it's Guardians.
that's a good point.
They could do it
Somehow
in
in there.
Guardians. But where else would it land?
Right. Not in Phase 5 or 6 that we've seen so far.
No.
So.
I can't. Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-mm.
It's almost got to be a Guardians thing, I would think.
Right.
I don't think we're going to get a Hercules movie,
No, there's no way.
and I don't think we get even a show.
Mm-mm. Because, I mean, the only thing he'd be hunting Thor off of that mid-credit scene, and we don't even know. I mean, Thor and Taika hadn't even heard about a new movie yet, so we'll see what comes out of that. But that's a good question. Where do we see Hercules again?
Is this one of those characters they give us, and then they're like, he's 3 phases away. We'll bring him back
I
later.
hope not. That's just too late. Way too late.
I mean, they could have the actor voice him in a What If episode or something like that.
That's true. Because he could do that. So
maybe he shows up on She-Hulk.
don't tempt me. That show's already
All right.
better than I thought it was going to be.
Tied to this, though, we wanted to finish our discussion of does Phase 4 feel directionless? I think now no, because
Right. This article's a little outdated at this point.
we know where it's going. We just don't know, like I said, we don't know where the Thor storylines go.
Mm-mm. It's the only thing I'm left in the air right now.
Yeah. Love's potentially a new Avenger
Mm-hmm.
or a young Avenger, which I think would be awesome to see that movie.
Yes.
The young
Even just
Avengers.
the montage of her and Thor just going through the universe with painted on Mjolnir.
Yeah.
So
I'm all for it. Yeah, she paints a little design on Mjolnir.
little tassel at the end of it too, connected to it. It's just so great. Oh man.
On to the news. Is there anything else you want to add?
That's all I really had for it.
Okay. On to the news. We have Madam Web starring Dakota Johnson, Sydney Sweeney, Emma Roberts, and Adam Scott has been delayed to October the 6th, 2023.
Another Sony thing that I'm like,
Yeah, it's at this point, if you're Sony, it's like you keep making these movies, but if they're not canon
and they're all bombing,
why?
Yeah.
I'd rather have the sure money and sell the rights back to Disney and be done with it.
And put it into other projects that make you more money.
Yeah.
So, what do we know?
And they're going to need more money because they gave Tom Hardy $20 million for Venom 3.
I'm all about it, though.
No offense to Tom Hardy, but why?
Yeah, that's because the movies don't even make close to that. You know what I mean? Or they make more than that, but that's not a smart budget.
No.
Give the CGIers and animators more. Personally,
I'm just not. Well, they're not that big of a box office success.
Yeah.
To give the star $20 million.
I loved it. 1 and 2. I still need to buy the second one for. I'll never forget going to the theaters and watching that with you though. Venom 2. Let There Be Carnage. It was that was an experience, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Releases this week we have in cinemas DC League of Super Pets, July 29th. And then Deadpool 1 and 2 and Logan are now on Disney Plus. And Tyler, real quick, that's also another thing people have been asking. No Deadpool 3 in the MCU timeline. Could fill one of the empty spots in Phase 6.
That far away though? That just
because they've already been working on it, right?
Yeah,
Is it done yet?
I don't. No, they're not. They ain't started filming yet. They've started the script for it.
Okay.
And that's the last I think we've heard about it, besides with the director stuff. But
I think it's a Phase 7 movie.
Phase 7.
I think they want to introduce the mutants. I think it's going to be a part of the X-Men part of things.
Because we also don't have an X-Men title either.
I honestly say instead of calling it Deadpool 3, just Deadpool.
Yeah.
And make it clear that unfortunately, there's no way to continue the story from the previous ones. We need to work him into this, and
Or just start kind of anew.
yeah.
I'm down for that. It's a lot of people were thinking, because that news dropped on Thursday, that all of that was going to be starting on Friday, and then the panel is on Saturday. So everyone's like, "Oh, what does this mean? Could this mean something's coming up?" And everyone was like, "No," because even BD asked it on Twitter. He says this is a sign of something that's going to be announced, and everyone said no. Internationally, all those movies are already on Disney Plus. So it was just for the United States that it came here. So I was like, "Oh, okay, that kind of squanders that." So
Yeah.
All right, Chris, I gotta know, have you been playing any video games this week? Anything fun?
The same stuff. I've got 5 more XP levels to get through on Ultimate Team, and then I can delete that game and wait for the new one.
I'm kind of excited for the new one. I do this every year, and I've said it every time every year on the podcast. I have that itch for it.
You do.
I play like a game or two, and I never touch it again. So I'm at that point right now. I want to play it again. So
I'm like, oh, he's gonna get into Mutt or something this year, and you never do.
It's the same cycle. At least I know it's an issue. I know it's an issue.
You did the same thing with MLB The Show.
Yep. Played it when it came to Game Pass. Played 2 games and said, "All right, that was fun." I got to play Outriders or something. Destiny had their Solstice event start up this week. I am 2 things away from being done with it, and then not playing until the new season comes out at the end of August, beginning of September. But other than that, I really hadn't had time to play video games. I've obviously been watching Big Brother and doing everything else, and then it's Jamie's birthday this weekend, so I won't be doing a whole bunch this weekend either. So besides having Big Brother on my phone at dinner or something. 2 new stories here this week. The biggest one, Grounded, is the latest video game that's being adapted for TV series. Going to Deadline.com by Peter White. Grounded is the latest video game, like I just said, being adapted for TV. The Xbox video game, which was inspired by Bug's Life and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, is being adapted by Star Wars Clone Wars writer Brent Friedman. It marks the latest video game to get the television treatment following the likes of Netflix's Arcane and Paramount Plus's Halo. The series, which exists in the same universe as the game, follows 4 friends who the summer before high school plan big things to elevate their social standing, but their plans are upended when they stumble upon shrinking technology that makes them 2 inches tall. Now the 4 shrunken friends must learn to survive in a towering backyard that's a jungle full of enormous predators and hiding a vast corporate conspiracy threatening their entire town. The game's fun. It's on Game Pass, and it's not that long, but it's like you're more of a survival builder kind of game. It's fun, and this will be a good series that I will be watching, just because it's a video game adaptation, and that sounds like something I want to watch. That whole little synopsis right there, I'm in. And then speaking of Xbox, the next one here, Discord Voice is officially coming to Xbox. I'm going to news.xbox.com. This is by Eric Voorhees, Principal Program Manager, Player Experiences and Platforms. Get ready to connect with your Discord friends and communities on Xbox. Discord voice chat is coming to your Xbox Series and Xbox One console. You'll be able to chat with anyone on Discord via voice channels or group calls directly from your console, making it easy to connect with friends across mobile, Xbox, and PC. The update will start rolling out to Xbox Insiders today and be available soon to everyone. Today's update enables a highly requested feature, the Discord voice on consoles, allows you to talk with your friends and community while playing your favorite games. Planning a few rounds of multiplayer action at Halo's Infinite with buddies on both consoles and PC. Exploring new biomes with your friends in Minecraft. See them already playing a game that supports crossplay. Connect to their voice channel and chat as you play. While you're playing on your console, you'll be able to see who's in the call and speaking. You'll also be able to adjust the sound and switch between Discord voice and Xbox game chat. Awesome. This is huge news right here because we use Discord to record our show, and when I play games with people like on PC, I use Discord, like if I'm playing on Xbox and things like that. But this makes that streamline so much easier right here, and it's beautiful, and I'm so glad they're doing it. And it's shocking because PlayStation and Discord made an agreement and partnership earlier this year, and it's still not on PlayStation, but it's on Xbox already. So maybe we're just the beta testers for PlayStation. Who knows? Notable releases this week: Multiverses for PC, PlayStation 5 and 4, and Xbox Series and Xbox One, July 26th, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3, July 29th on Switch. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been this week's episode of the Nerdwide Podcast. Thank you all so much for listening for our San Diego 2022 coverage. We hope you really enjoyed this show and enjoyed the new features of us watching trailers and things like that. Again, if you're an audio listener, I apologize. A lot of that first half of the show was trailers and artwork and everything from the show. I implore you to go look at youtube.com, search in Nerdwide Podcast. It'll be the first thing that pop up there, and watch the first half of the show and see what we're talking about. Let us know if the audio too loud, too low, couldn't hear me or Chris over the trailer. Just let us know down in the comments so we can improve it as well. Don't forget to share on all your favorite social media platforms. Don't forget to rate and review this podcast on your favorite podcasting app and service. On social media, you can follow Nerdwide on Twitter at nerd_wide, me and personally at Ty_Haynes, Chris at MavTN7. On Facebook, go to facebook.com, go to the little search bar, search in Nerdwide Podcast, nerdwide.com, whichever one it is. We're the first ones that pop up. Those two ways are the first ways you can know when the episodes post, and they'll be linked directly there. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode. Cannot wait to come back with you next week with Spiderhead, the Chris Hemsworth and Miles Teller movie. It looks really good, looks actiony, and I'm about it. So we will see you then. And thank you so much for watching this week's episode of the Nerdwide Podcast.
Later, guys.